So a little different coming up here, coming in here having a press conference about a team you just found out about. But fortunately, this we're playing a team that I think most of the country knows about because of what they were able to do this year, and some of the teams that they beat and the big games they won. So, but all in all, we're super excited to go to a bowl game. Second straight year for us. Excited for the seniors to get one more last game, and really, the extra practices, the extra work, really to really begin the development of the team for next season. So, but the number one goal is to go in and prepare and put a plan together to go out and win a football game. So, and then to win a game for the seniors. And I'm sure that Vanderbilt and Clark will be doing the same thing for their guys. So. It's exciting. I'm excited for the players, seniors particular, and excited for the fan base. Being able to go to Birmingham, pretty close, 2 hours away. Actually, 2 hours and 15 minutes, depending on what part of the city you want to drive to. So, quite familiar with that ride on I-20, I-20 West. So, I think I was telling somebody the other day. Who was driving to Birmingham. I tried to count one time the amount of times since 1996 that I've driven I-20 east and west. So I would say it's probably way up in the thousands of times. So that's a pretty cool thing, though, to be able to go back home, playing a bowl game back home, where I grew up. And I'm sure there'll be a lot of family and friends and whatnot who want to go to the game. But again, that's not what it's about. It's about these seniors. It's about this team. It's about the fan base, the alumni. Everyone takes pride in Georgia Tech football. So that being said, playing Vanderbilt's a great challenge, great opportunity. A lot of respect for Clark Lee and the job he's done at Vanderbilt, at his alma mater, and so I understand what he goes through every day. I understand the passion and the pressure that comes along with that job. It just a phenomenal job that he's done turning this, and I've kind of followed it from afar for the last couple of years, and he's one that gets up and he's very confident in himself. He's very confident in his team. Speaks those things, and we saw this year from the very first game of the season, all the way through. He had some big upsets and some big wins. I think two very equally matched teams. They're unconventional in the way they do things offensively with the motions, the shifts, the pistol option game, the bluff reads and all those things. So create one back pick, two back pictures out of one back sets. A lot of things that just those are what I've seen over the last bits and pieces of it. Because I think everyone they're one of kind of America's sweethearts this year, darlings this year with what they were able to do. So excited to play Vanderbilt. Excited for Georgia Tech, and close to both schools. Nashville and Atlanta are about two closest places to Birmingham I think you could get for two teams. So should be a great turnout and a great crowd, and hopefully it's a great day. Look forward to doing it. So with that, we'll go with any questions.
Okay, we'll go ahead and start with Kelly.
Hey, Brent. I was wondering about just getting an SEC team again, getting an opportunity to play a team that's upset some teams as well this year and had a little swag about them. Does it make it a little more exciting for the guys to play a team from another marquee conference versus maybe playing a G5 or something like that in this bowl game?
I think it's exciting, man, to go to play any bowl game. Another chance to play. We've said it a bunch. We're only guaranteed 12 games a year, and it's the only sport in the world that you work 360 plus days a year for 12 opportunities, and we got a chance to get a 13th. So that's awesome in its own right. And so, but yeah, playing a team from the SEC, a team that's had a good season, really surprised a lot of people. But knowing, I'm sure the amount of work and the passion that Clark has for that school and for that team, very few people understand that, and so it's not a surprise to me because I know what type of work he's most likely to put in, and he has put in with that team.
Chad?
I know you said it's not about you, but I mean, you got to admit it's pretty cool to take your alma mater back into Birmingham and play in front of friends and family, right?
Yeah, it is. It really is. It's I mean, golly, I mean, Birmingham's had a bowl game for as long as I can remember. I mean, probably one of the first football games I ever went to was, ironically enough, I think it was the 1985 All-American Bowl, you know, Georgia Tech, and uh, then seeing going to Old Legion Field and seeing so many All-American Bowls, and I mean, goodness gracious, never would have thought, full circle come back, and now I'm going there. Now I've heard the stadium's at a really, really good stadium, really nice. I know there's a lot downtown Birmingham, really, put a lot of money and resources into that area around the stadium. With that, kind of, there's Top Golf down there, and there's all sorts, some nice hotels, restaurants. Um, you know, Birmingham's a cool city. It's a great city. When growing up there, you kind of you see yourself really as the kind of little brother of Atlanta. 2 hours away, and Birmingham's a city of grit and toughness, and there's a lot of things about the city of Birmingham that are right up in the same parallels as our football team. And I know family will be excited, and friends will be excited, but it's pretty neat.
Rod?
Brent, what will the practice schedule be like for your team as you prepare for the bowl game?
Goodness, I mean, we'll start planning that. I mean, it was announced, I think a couple hours ago. We found out, since we actually had 4 different plans put in place already, hoping we hit on one of those 4. So, we put some different schedules together. When I get off this call, that's what I'll continue to do, that along with everything else that goes on right now. And, then we'll practice tomorrow, we'll practice Tuesday, and we'll practice on Friday this week. Those were planned out regardless of what bowl we went to. Kids are still finishing up finals, throughout the week. Graduation is next weekend. And then once we come back, once the kids, we get through next weekend and graduation and these practices this week, we'll come back in. We'll go probably 4 days next week, or I'm sorry, 4 days the week after that. And I'll have to look through all of the timelines and everything, which the emails are coming through as we speak. So I'll look through that, and I'll start backing up the days and determine, when we head over, and, see when we're required to be there, and, where we're practicing, and all those things. But, the first week of practice will be really developmental practice. We get a lot of work in just base fundamentals. I mean, you're only as good as your base fundamentals, and those are the things at the end of the year that probably get the furthest away from you. So, then we'll get some of the younger guys some more reps out there too.
Luke?
Hey, Brent. I know this is, talking about the bowl game, but it's the first time we've had a chance to talk to you since the extension was agreed upon. I mean, what's it mean for you to have that done at your alma mater, to be there for the long haul?
No, goodness, I didn't even think about that. I mean, it's it's exciting. I think it's exciting that Jay was able to announce that they were able to announce everything at the same time. I think it just shows the leadership here. It shows how President Cabrera is, from President Cabrera to Jay Batt, and then to the coaches, the alignment that takes place here. It also shows the commitment to the future of Georgia Tech athletics, and couldn't be more excited. And but that's one of those things that it shows the alignment, it shows people those things, but it doesn't change anything about our day to day. I mean, like I said, I'd forgotten about that until you brought it up. So, but no, very, very appreciative of those people.
Kelly?
Clark Lee and Tyler Santucci, both from that Mike Elko tree, they worked together for a year. I know you haven't probably watched much Vanderbilt other than what you little piece on TV, but kind of what do you glean about their defense and just kind of those styles, and coming from that Mike Elko tree of coaching with both guys who are pretty good defensive coordinators?
Yeah, my goodness, I'd be remiss, Kelly. I have no idea. I've watched no film. I do know the film is up. When I get done with doing some scheduling tonight, I'll put on a couple of games and start watching some games tonight, full games. But right now, I do not know, other than, they're a team that plays extremely hard. They play for 4 quarters. They never feel like they're out of a game. I think it might have been a couple of weeks ago. I think they were down at LSU and just kept playing and kept playing. So I've seen bits and pieces of them on TV, but not enough to be able to comment one way or the other.
Patrick.
Coach Key, pardon me if you've already answered this. I tuned in a little bit late, but do you have a plan already afoot for when you'll travel to Birmingham?
No, I do not. I'll get into all that when we hang up from this call.
Thank you.
Alex.
Hey, Coach, just I guess just kind of talk about I know it's the time of transfer portal and everything. When will it kind of be, when who you'll have? Are you trying to kind of get the guys who you'll have for the bowl game? I know that's probably the next thing on the agenda.
No, I don't. I mean, we're planning on having the 2024 Georgia Tech football team. I mean, that's our plan. You control what you can control. You don't worry about things you can't control. If you worry about that, I mean, there's going to be no time during the day to get done what you have to get done. So, we take the measures and work to build our team that's best for our team. But I can't predict the future. But I plan on going in and having the 2024 Georgia Tech football team.
Chad.
How's Haynes doing? Is he be able to give it a go for the bowl game? Is he hopeful still?
What was it? Day to day, hopeful.
I mean, I knew he laid it all on the line, in Athens. So just curious how he's holding up.
I think the latest on Haynes from a medical standpoint was, how are you feeling? And he said, well, everything but my shoulder hurts. So he's good.
Luke.
Brent, how much of an impact does a bowl trip that's regional, I mean, 2 hours away, last year was in Tampa, so not far. How much of an impact does that have on just prep, logistics, everything for you guys when you don't have to go clear across the country to play a game like this?
Yeah, you'd have to ask Josh Thompson that question. Josh does such a great job with our operations and our logistics. His whole staff, John Blake, who's our associate operations, does a lot of the planning of the hotels and the site visits. And I mean, those guys do a phenomenal job at planning all that. And what it does, it really allows me not to have to focus on it. And they bring me kind of the 3 or 4 different options, and I make the decision which one's best for the team. And but I know this for the fan base, I think it's exciting. I know we have a strong alumni base in Birmingham, in the state of Alabama. We have obviously a lot of connections over there to that state. I mean, the stadium's actually like, the way a crow flies, like 1 mile or less. It's actually probably less than 1 mile. You probably go 1 block, 3 blocks, like from the hospital I was born in, like Caraway Hospital. Now it's not there anymore, but in Old North Birmingham. My grandfather was born like 2 blocks away. Like went to high school right there. So that's pretty cool. But logistically, man, it's it makes it easier for the travel part. But we're still taking everybody. It doesn't change who we're taking. It doesn't change having to get hotel rooms. The only difference is we get on a bus for 2 hours instead of a plane for 2 hours.
Kelly.
Mute.
Sorry about that, having a little technical issue. Are you excited to stay in the South? I know that there's these bowls and baseball stadiums and all the different things, and with the playoffs, everything's changed. Is there some level of excitement that you don't have to go maybe play in the freezing cold in New England or New York or whatever? Like, is there some level to that excites you about this game as well?
It's been pretty cold here the last few days,
It
man.
has.
So you can't predict the weather wherever you go. again, it goes back to our fan base and the people that are going to go to the game. That's what I'm excited about is, it's an easy trip for our fans. Timing, the time of the game allows people to make it a day trip, or a one night over trip. So it's exciting for the fans. There's gonna be a lot of gold in Birmingham, though. I'll tell you that.
Got time for a few more. We'll go Patrick, then Rod.
We got all the time in the world, Mike. I mean, Rod's got his headphones on.
I'm ready.
Coach Key, congratulations on what sounded like a very successful signing day. And is it good, bad, or doesn't matter that that day is in December versus February or some other time of the year? Reference bowl preparations and others such as that on your schedule.
Yeah, I hadn't had time to really, decompress from it and think about it logistically. It's probably a better question to ask, come February once things slow down a little bit.
Thank you.
Rod?
Brent, have you had a chance to talk to any of your players and get their reaction on, going over to Birmingham for the bowl?
I'm trying to think. I mean, there's a couple of guys that reached out. A lot of guys have been reaching out all day and asking what I know, and I just kept telling them I don't know. So, the couple I have talked to, very quickly, or that was able to thumbs up a text or something. They were excited. They were really, really excited to all be playing Vanderbilt. Really good opponent, and playing them here regionally, close to Atlanta.